So, little bit of late Comic-Con news that I clearly missed, and I'm going to talk about right here in this video and the next. Just some news that I actually forgot about, more or less. Yeah, I pretty much forgot about it, and gonna rectify that right now. Starting off with another crossover that IDW announced. They actually announced two crossovers they were going to do. Excuse me, they were going to do. And clearly the Batman TMNT one got a lot of hype. This one is actually coming out next year. That's probably why it wasn't so hyped up. And that, as you can see from the title, yeah, G.I Joe and Street Fighter crossover. Yeah, Street Fighter and G.I Joe. Whoever thought of that would actually happen? Now, I don't think a creative team has been put together, but this will be a big, I think they said 6-part comic, just like the Batman TMNT one. And yeah, IDW and Udon are getting together to do having G.I Joe, probably one of the best known action toy series, meaning one of the most recognizable video game series. So we got a toy and video games, Hasbro and Capcom coming together, more or less. So the main story, from what we know, is that Shadowloo and Cobra are apparently going to war. Yeah, Cobra and Shadowloo are going to war, and the Joes and the members of Street Fighter, the heroes of Street Fighter, are caught in the crossfire of it. So, what do I think of this? I think this is really cool. I never once thought I would see G.I Joe and Street Fighter come together. You know, they've done a lot of G.I Joe crossovers. They did one with Danger Girl, obviously the Transformer crossovers, and I know I'm forgetting another one, but they've done a few. They've done a few with G.I Joe. I'm still waiting on G.I Joe meeting the TMNT. Why hasn't that happened yet, guys? Or, how about the G.I Joe meeting, I don't know, G.I Joe... Well, you guys haven't really been buddy-buddy with Marvel. You guys haven't really teamed up with Marvel on anything since the Avengers Transformers crossover. And look how well that turned out. Anyway... So what do I think? So they pretty much showed some, apparently there were some images shown, and one of them was Vega and Storm Shadow going at it. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, Vega and Storm Shadow. Actually, that's a really kick-ass fight. I can't wait to see that. Or was it Vega and Snake Eyes? I don't know. But yeah, I think there's some cool matchups in here that we can see. It depends on which Cobra this is. Are they going by IDW Comics Cobra Commander, or are they going more of the... or more something along the lines of the animated series route? Are they going something along with that? I'm personally thinking that it's the latter, that it's probably going to be something close to the 80s cartoon, but have its own little elements, kind of like what they did with the G.I Joe Danger Girl crossover, how they proceeded to do that team up, and just kind of go with that, just have it as the core base. But I think that would be cool to see, again, Vega and Storm Shadow throwdown, Crimson Viper and Baroness have a fight. Oh, that'd be so cool. But in terms of, characters I'd like to see, out in the Joe's side and the Street Fighter, the superhero members, the hero members of G.I. Joe, because there's not really a team. Well, there is a Special Forces group. So, I think it would be cool to have, Cammy and Guile have to meet the Joes. That's a given. You have to have Cammy and Guile meet the G.I. Joe, the Joes. That has to happen. And I can only imagine, another thing, Ryu and Snake Eyes have to meet. You gotta have Ryu versus Snake Eyes. That would be... Just to see Ryu and Snake Eyes throw down, that'd be awesome. Or, have Snake Eyes throw down with, maybe Chun-Li. That would be cool. I think, the two Street Fighter characters I really want to see interact with the Joes the most. Sorry for tripping over my own words here. But yeah, like I said, the two characters in Street Fighter, I want to see interact with the Joes the most are Cammy and Guile, because they really do look like G.I. Joe characters. They honestly look like G.I. Joe characters. Chun-Li as well. I think it would also be cool to see who else are we. That's the other big question, is that who else is going to be in this crossover. There aren't really there aren't many set teams in Street Fighter universe. Ryu does his own thing, Ken does his own thing. everyone has their own little separate groups, really. You've got Blanca and Sakura and Dan all in one group. You've got Ryu and sometimes Ken in one group. You've got Chun-Li, Guile, and Chun-Li, Guile, and Cammy. Oh my god, how did I forget Cammy's name? You've got them all on one team. So there are all these little separate teams here and there. So yeah, you've got that many. And the other thing with this is how G.I Joe and Street Fighter are so drastically different. You've got the G.I Joe side, who can, they can project energy blasts. Some of them can punch down entire mountains. And some of them can just wipe out whole cities. I mean, hell, Akuma once destroyed a meteorite that was headed for Earth. Once, for those who don't know, Akuma once destroyed an entire asteroid. But yeah, that's the other thing, what if Akuma gets into this? That would man, that would be crazy. And the other thing, like I said, the Street Fighter characters are very powerful, and they don't really use guns. Yeah, not a lot of them use guns. It's mostly fists or weapons, like bladed weapons. You got the G.I. Joe side, on the other hand, and yeah, there are some fighting members of the team of both G.I. Joe and Cobra, but really, it's not as, none of them really have, none of them can summon energy blasts out of their hands, or, create sonic booms, and whatnot. That's kind of the big thing right there, is that they kind of just depend on their own weapons and technology. Now, not to say that's bad or anything, I'm not saying this crossover is stupid or anything. It's something I wouldn't think, I wouldn't have, that wouldn't have been my first thought, but hey, I'm still rooting for it. I'm still rooting for this crossover. That's the thing. Even though it's not something I would think of, it's something I'm actually really excited about to see, once again, one of the best-known toy and cartoon franchise. Yeah, pretty much one of the best-known toy and cartoon franchises in general, meeting one of the best, crossing over with one of the best fighting game franchises. You've got these two cartoon and video game characters coming together to make what I hope to be a really awesome crossover. I'm really hoping for that. Also really hoping the artists over at Udon get together to do this. That's what I'm really hoping for, because have you ever seen the art for the Udon comics? It's beautiful. It's freaking awesome. So I hope what they do is get a writer, an artist from Udon and a writer from IDW, and have them come together to make this crossover happen. So that's what I'm really hoping for with this. Among other things, I'm just really interested to see where this is going to go, because because again, the main focus is going to be Cobra and Shadowloo, the war between Cobra and Shadowloo. That's going to be the main focus here. So I'm really, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm really curious to see how this war is going to go down, because if this is 80s cartoon version of Cobra they're going with, and even regular IDW Cobra wouldn't stand a chance, because frickin' Bison, God, you guys know how powerful Bison is. This guy, he's a monster, so if Cobra and him ever went one-on-one, he wouldn't really stand a chance now, would he? So, you have to look at it like that, so, Cobra may have to have a trick up his sleeve, and, he may need, maybe he's stolen something from... that's the other thing I want to know. What caused this conflict to arise between Cobra and Shadowloo? That's actually, the biggest thing I want to know now that I think about it. What exactly caused a war to break out between Shadowloo and Cobra? Did Cobra steal something? Did Shadowloo steal something from Cobra? Or did Cobra steal something from Shadowloo? Or did, one team get something that the other team wanted, and now the other one wants it more, and they're going to war for it? Yeah. So it could be a many number of different things that these two groups could easily be fighting over, or they're just dicks, they could easily be like, Cobra and Bison don't want any competition, so they hope to wipe out the other competition by, maybe Bison's like, well, Cobra's a major problem, and I want to take care of it now, or Cobra Commander's like, the only one who's going to rule the world is Cobra! That's my best Cobra Commander impression, I apologize. So yeah, there's just so many ways this could go down, but I am super excited. This comes out next year. I think this comes out right after the Batman TMNT crossover begins in November this November, and then next year they're going to do the G.I Joe Street Fighter crossover. So you guys tell me, what do you guys think of the G.I Joe Street Fighter crossover? Do you guys like the idea? Do you guys hate the idea? What characters do you want to see meet in this crossover? Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.